The cell was barely wider than a coffin, cold, organic metal pulsing faintly like a living thing. Lieutenant Marcus Hayes pressed his back against the curved wall, feeling it throb beneath his shoulders like a slow heartbeat. Heavy energy chains locked his right wrist to something warm, something alive. He turned his head. She sat beside him, forced so close their shoulders touched. Navy blue skin seemed to glow faintly in the darkness, luminescent beneath the surface like bioluminescent plankton in Earth's oceans. Blonde hair, startlingly golden against that deep blue, fell across her face as she kept her eyes downcast. She was beautiful. Terrifyingly so. Marcus had been captured during a border skirmish 3 days ago, labeled Class 0 Predator, by the Voranth Empire. They'd stripped him of his armor, his weapons, everything except the dog tags around his neck. Execution was scheduled at dawn. He'd made peace with that. But this? Being chained to an alien woman in a prison that felt alive? The woman shifted slightly, and electricity arced through the chains. Marcus hissed through his teeth as pain lanced up his arm. She froze immediately, her whole body going rigid. "Sorry," she whispered. Her voice was melodic, musical in a way that made his chest ache. "Any movement, it hurts us both." Marcus studied her profile. She was tall, easily matching his 6-foot frame, with delicate features that seemed sculpted from living sapphire. Her eyes, when she finally met his gaze, glowed softly amber in the darkness. "What are you?" he asked, not unkindly. "Lysara." She swallowed hard. "My name is Lysara. I was a strategist for the Lyrosian fleet." "Strategist?" Marcus frowned. "Then why are you here? Why not executed like me?" Her luminous skin darkened slightly, a blush, he realized. "I am breeding stock," she said flatly, though shame burned in her eyes. "My species is rare, valuable, and dying out. The Empire doesn't execute what it can use." The brutality of it hit Marcus like a fist. He'd heard rumors of the Empire's breeding programs, their biological collections. But hearing it from someone actually trapped in that nightmare. "I'm sorry," he said quietly. Lysara looked at him with surprise, those amber eyes widening. "You apologize? To me? You didn't deserve this." She laughed, bitter and broken. "Neither did you, human. Yet here we are." Guards passed outside their cell, their chittering language echoing down the corridor. The lights dimmed to almost nothing. In the darkness, Marcus felt Lysara shift closer, just slightly. "Listen carefully," she breathed against his ear, her voice barely audible. "If we do not bond, we both die." Marcus went still. "What?" "This prison is ancient. Built by the architects, a species that died millennia ago. They believed emotional resonance could unlock living technology." Her words came faster now, urgent. "2 prisoners, chained together, are tested for compatibility. If they bond, the cell opens. If they don't, we die," Marcus finished grimly. "At sunrise. The prison drains life energy from incompatible pairs." He turned to look at her fully. "You're saying we have to, what? Fall in love before dawn?" "Not love." Her navy blue skin flushed deeper. "Connection. Physical and emotional resonance. The prison reads biological compatibility. Intimacy triggers its failsafes." Marcus felt heat crawl up his neck. "You mean?" "Yes." Lysara met his eyes steadily. "We must mate. Or we both die." Marcus stared at her, his mind racing. "This is insane. How do you even know this works?" Lysara's expression remained calm, but he saw fear flickering in those amber eyes. "Because I chose this cell. I studied the prison's architecture for months before I was captured. When I refused to surrender my people, I knew they'd bring me here. And I knew eventually they'd chain a human beside me. Why a human? Because your species terrifies them. She shifted carefully, minimizing the shock through their chains. Human adaptability is legendary. Your body's bond with technology no other species can interface with. Your emotions run deeper, stronger. If any species could activate architect technology, it would be yours. Marcus ran his free hand through his dark hair. That's a hell of a gamble. What if I'm not compatible? What if we can't? Then we die, she said simply. But I would rather die trying to escape than live as their breeding slave. The conviction in her voice struck something deep in his chest. This wasn't desperation, it was defiance. Lysara wasn't a victim waiting to be saved. She was a warrior who'd orchestrated her own rescue attempt. Tell me about yourself, Marcus said quietly. If we're doing this, I need to know you're not just using me. Lysara's expression softened. Fair enough. She took a careful breath. I commanded the defense of Lyros Prime. 3 million souls depended on my tactical decisions. When the Vorinth came, I held them off for 6 months with half their resources and a tenth their numbers. What happened? They threatened to glass the planet. Kill everyone. Her voice cracked. I surrendered myself in exchange for my world's safety. They took me, and the slaughter stopped. Marcus felt his jaw tighten. That's why you won't give up. You saved 3 million people. You're not about to let them break you now. She looked at him with wonder. You understand. I do. He extended his free hand slowly. I'm Marcus. Lieutenant Marcus Hayes, Earth Defense Force. I was leading a rescue operation when we got ambushed. Lost my whole squad. Lysara carefully placed her hand in his. The moment their palms touched, the cell hummed. The walls pulsed brighter, energy rippling through the organic metal. They both gasped. Did you feel that? She whispered. Yeah. Marcus stared at their joined hands. His skin looked so dark against her navy blue palm, but where they touched, warmth spread through him. Not painful, comforting. Right. The prison recognizes you, Lysara breathed. This is unprecedented. Usually it takes hours of contact before any response. Marcus squeezed her hand gently. Maybe it knows we don't have hours. She smiled, genuinely smiled, for the first time. It transformed her face, made her look younger, less haunted. Marcus, may I be honest? Please. I am terrified. Her thumb traced small circles on his palm. Not of dying. Not of the Empire. But of this. Of connection. They took everything from me. My command, my freedom, my dignity. Opening myself to someone again. Marcus brought their joined hands to his lips, pressing a gentle kiss to her knuckles. The cell blazed with light for a heartbeat. Lysara's eyes widened. How did you? Because I'm terrified too, he admitted. My whole squad died because I made the wrong call. I led them into that ambush. I've been waiting to die ever since, thinking I deserved it. But now. He looked at her intently. Now I have a reason to live. To fight. Me, she whispered. You. Lysara leaned closer, their faces inches apart. Then we fight together. Bond together. Survive together. Together, Marcus agreed. When their lips met, the prison screamed with light. The kiss started tentative, exploratory, two strangers testing boundaries. But the moment their lips touched, something fundamental shifted. The prison's walls blazed with ethereal light, ancient glyphs illuminating across every surface. Energy coursed through the chains, but instead of pain, it felt like electricity dancing across their skin. Lysara gasped against his mouth, and Marcus pulled her closer with his free arm. Her navy blue skin was warm beneath his touch, softer than he'd expected. She tasted like starlight and ozone, exotic and intoxicating. "Marcus," she breathed when they broke apart. Her amber eyes were wide, pupils dilated. "The cell is responding. We're actually doing it." He looked around in wonder. The pulsing walls had grown translucent, revealing complex crystalline structures beneath. Glowing conduits spread like neural pathways, all converging toward where they sat chained together. "It's not enough yet, is it?" he asked quietly. Lysara shook her head. "The prison reads depth of connection. Surface contact activates basic systems, but to override the failsafes, to truly escape." She met his eyes. "We need complete resonance. Physical and emotional unity." Marcus cupped her face with his free hand, his thumb tracing the elegant line of her cheekbone. "Then let me know you, Lysara. Really know you." She leaned into his touch, eyes closing. "I haven't been touched with kindness in so long," she whispered. "They examined me like livestock. Measured, catalogued, prepared me for." Her voice broke. "Hey." Marcus tilted her face up. "You're not livestock. You're not property. You're Lysara, brilliant strategist, savior of 3 million souls, and the bravest woman I've ever met." A tear traced down her navy blue cheek, glowing faintly phosphorescent. "How can you say that? You barely know me." "Then let me learn." He kissed her again, slower this time, pouring every ounce of genuine affection into it. "We have until dawn. Tell me everything." They talked between kisses, words flowing as freely as touch. Lysara told him about Lyro's prime, ocean worlds with floating crystal cities, where her people sang to navigate the currents. Marcus shared memories of Earth, of Colorado mountains and his mother's garden, of why he'd joined the military. With each shared story, each revealed vulnerability, the prison grew brighter. "Your turn," Lysara murmured, her lips trailing along his jaw. "What's your greatest fear?" "Failing someone who depends on me." Marcus's voice was rough. "Watching them die because I wasn't good enough, fast enough, smart enough." "You didn't fail your squad, Marcus. War isn't fair." "I know. Knowing doesn't make it hurt less." She kissed him deeply, her free hand tangling in his hair. When she pulled back, her eyes blazed with amber fire. "Then don't fail me. Stay alive with me. Escape with me. I swear it." Their chains suddenly loosened, dropping several inches. They could move more freely now, turn toward each other properly. Marcus took advantage immediately, shifting to face Lysara fully. She was stunning in the prison's light, navy blue skin glowing, blonde hair like spun gold around her shoulders. Her body was tall and lithe, curves that spoke of both strength and femininity. "You're staring," she whispered, but smiled. "Can't help it. You're beautiful." Her skin darkened with another blush. "So are you. Your species, you're more similar to us than I expected. It makes this easier. Makes you feel." She touched his chest, palm flat over his heart. "Real. Possible." Marcus covered her hand with his. "What happens when we bond completely? When the prison fully activates?" "I don't know," Lysara admitted. "The architect records were incomplete. But I know this, bonded pairs don't just open doors. They command entire systems. If we succeed, we might open every cell in this place. Would that be so terrible?" She moved closer, straddling his lap carefully. The chains allowed it now, responding to their growing connection. Every prisoner here is someone's war trophy. Someone's slave. Marcus gripped her waist, feeling the warmth of her through the thin fabric she wore. "Then we give them all a chance to escape." Together? She asked. Together. When she kissed him this time, there was no hesitation. Only heat, only need, only the desperate connection of two people refusing to die in the darkness. The prison sang around them, coming alive. The energy chains fell away completely, clattering to the floor in sparking coils. Marcus and Lasara stared at their freed wrists in shock before their eyes met, wonder and heat mixing in equal measure. "We did it," Lasara breathed. "Not yet." Marcus stood, pulling her up with him. "You said complete resonance. This is just the beginning." The cell had grown warm, almost comfortable. The walls pulsed in rhythm with their heartbeats, somehow synchronized now, beating as one. Marcus could feel Lasara's emotions bleeding into his awareness, determination, fear, and beneath it all, genuine affection blooming into something deeper. She felt it too. Her amber eyes widened. "Marcus, I can sense you." "Same." He touched her face wonderingly. "Your thoughts. Your feelings. How is this?" "The architects believed in perfect pairs," she whispered, pressing her forehead to his. "Two minds, two souls, resonating on the same frequency. I never truly believed it possible until now." Marcus kissed her softly. "Then let's resonate." He explored her carefully, reverently. Each touch revealed new wonders, the way her navy blue skin shifted slightly lighter when he kissed her neck, how she shivered when his fingers traced her spine, the soft sound she made when he found particularly sensitive spots. Lasara was equally curious, her hands mapping his body with gentle intensity. "Your skin," she murmured, running her fingers across his shoulders. "It's so different from mine. Warmer. But I can feel your strength. You're plenty strong yourself." Marcus caught her hands, bringing them to his lips. Inside and out. She pulled him down to the floor, no longer cold, but cushioned somehow, the prison adapting to their needs. They lay facing each other, exploring with increasing confidence. "Tell me what you want," Marcus said quietly. "I need to know this is what you choose. Not just survival. Not just escape. You." Lasara's eyes glistened. "No one has asked what I want in so long." She touched his face tenderly. "I want this. I want you. I want to feel alive again, not just alive but living. Choosing my own path. My own connection. Then I'm yours." He kissed her deeply. "For however long we have." "Forever," she corrected. "We're escaping, remember? I refuse to let you die at dawn." "Bossy strategist," he teased. "Reckless human," she shot back, but smiled. Their intimacy grew slowly, naturally. Marcus took his time, learning what made Lasara gasp, what made her arch against him, what made her whisper his name like a prayer. She was equally attentive, discovering the places that made him groan, the touches that made his control slip. The prison responded to every caress, every kiss, every moment of genuine connection. The walls became nearly transparent now, revealing vast networks of crystalline pathways spreading throughout the facility. Energy flowed along them like blood through veins, all converging on their cell. "Marcus," Lasara gasped, clutching his shoulders. "Something's happening. The whole prison is awakening." He could feel it too, power building around them, within them. Their connection had become a conduit, human adaptability interfacing with ancient architect technology in ways never before possible. "Don't stop," he urged, kissing her neck, her shoulder. "Whatever we're doing, it's working." "Together," she breathed. "Always together." When they finally joined completely, the prison exploded with light. Every cell, every corridor, every system simultaneously activated. Alarms screamed throughout the facility, but they barely heard them over the symphony of energy singing through their bond. Marcus held Lasara close as power surged through them both. He could feel her wonder, her joy, her relief mixing with his own. They weren't just bonded, they were unified, two becoming one while remaining themselves. "Look," Lysara whispered in awe. Through the transparent walls, they watched as cell doors throughout the prison opened. Hundreds of prisoners, species from across the galaxy, stared in shock as their bonds fell away, as freedom was suddenly, impossibly granted. "You weren't meant to survive," Lysara breathed, echoing her earlier words. "You were meant to change everything." Marcus pulled her close. We changed everything." The guards were coming. They could hear the thundering footsteps, the shouted orders. But the prison belonged to them now. And they weren't done yet. Marcus and Lysara dressed quickly, though their connection remained, a warm presence in each other's minds, a constant awareness of the other's location and emotional state. The prison fed them information directly now: guard positions, structural weak points, escape routes. "They're converging on our location," Lysara said, her tactical mind already processing the data. 47 hostiles, armed with plasma weapons. But we have something they don't. Marcus placed his hand on the wall, and it responded instantly, restructuring itself. A doorway opened where solid metal had been moments before. "An entire prison that obeys us." They stepped into chaos. Freed prisoners filled the corridors, some fleeing, others fighting back against confused guards. Marcus recognized species he'd only read about: crystalline shardborn, fluid morphians, even a few other humans captured in various conflicts. A Voranth guard aimed a weapon at them. Before Marcus could react, the floor beneath the guard liquefied, swallowing him up to his neck. The prison itself was defending them. "Incredible," Lysara breathed. "It's treating us as the new administrators. Every system, every defensive measure. Then let's use it." Marcus reached for her hand, their bond flaring brighter. "Can you access the communications array?" She closed her eyes, interfacing with the prison through their connection. "Yes. Broadcasting now on all frequencies." Her voice echoed throughout the facility: "Attention all prisoners. This is Commander Lysara of Lyros Prime. The prison systems are under our control. Follow the lighted pathways to the hangar bays. We're all leaving together." Glowing lines appeared on floors and walls, guiding prisoners toward escape routes. The prison obeyed without question, its ancient programming finally finding the bonded pair it had waited millennia for. They ran through the corridors, Marcus and Lysara moving in perfect synchronization. Other freed prisoners fell in behind them, a growing army of the formerly captive. When they encountered guards, the prison itself handled them, walls shifting, floors opening, systems that should have defended the Empire now turned against it. "The hangar is ahead," Marcus said, sensing it through their connection. "But there's a problem." "The warden," Lysara finished grimly. "He'll never let us reach the ships." They burst into the massive hangar bay to find Warden Kelthax waiting, a towering Voranth with 4 arms and armor that crackled with defensive energy. Behind him, a battalion of elite guards stood ready. "Impossible," Kelthax hissed, his translator rendering his words harsh and grating. "The human should be dead. You both should be dead." "Surprise," Marcus said dryly. Lysara stepped forward, her voice ringing with command. "Stand aside, Warden. You've lost. The prison is ours. Every system, every weapon, every ship in this bay. I will slaughter every escaped prisoner before I." The hangar's defensive turrets swiveled, targeting the guards. The ship's engines activated simultaneously. Even the floor beneath the battalion began to ripple threateningly. Kelthax stared in horror. "What have you done?" "We bonded," Lysara said simply. "Something your empire said was impossible. Human adaptability with architect technology, a combination you feared so much you classified humans as Class 0 threats. You were right to be afraid." Marcus felt pride surge through their bond. His brilliant, brave Lysara. Stand down, he ordered, his voice carrying the weight of the prison's authority. Or we'll demonstrate exactly why humans are classified as predators. For a long moment, Kelthax stood frozen. Then, slowly, he lowered his weapons. His guards followed suit. Smart choice, Marcus said. They didn't kill the guards. Instead, the prison contained them, walls forming holding cells, restraints growing from the floor. Poetic justice for those who'd imprisoned so many. Freed prisoners flooded into the hangar, claiming ships. Marcus and Lysara stood at the center of it all, hands linked, directing traffic through their bond with the prison. A young human woman approached them, tears streaming down her face. Thank you. I've been here for 2 years. I thought I'd die here. Not today, Lysara told her gently. No one dies here today. They took the warden's flagship, a sleek cruiser designed for comfort and speed. As the last prisoners departed, Marcus turned to Lysara. The prison, he said quietly. We can't leave it operational. The Empire will use it again. She nodded sadly. I know. But the architect technology, it deserves better than destruction. Together, they reached out through their bond one final time. The prison responded, understanding their intent. Ancient systems began to shut down in sequence, power cores going dormant. But the knowledge, the schematics, the very essence of architect technology, that flowed into their ship's computers, preserved for a better purpose.